going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing really well. In this video, we're going to be talking about my summarised notes from the NFT summit that David Hughes spoke on yesterday. We're going to be talking about celebrity-owned NFTs and how seeing the authenticity of an ownership of a collectible could drive huge value for it long term. We're going to be talking about Logan Paul specifically because he showed investor interest in VEVE and OMI. So we're going to be talking about potentially what could happen if he was to release his collectibles into the marketplace. We're going to be talking about how NFTs have actually created incredible logistical solutions to delivering products across the world at the same time. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the video. And then we're going to be talking about how NFTs have created a bridge between consumers and cryptocurrency. So if you enjoy this video and you're excited about it, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing if you're new around here. And I just want to say before we get into this, thank you so much, everyone, for the support I've been getting recently. We surpassed 300 subscribers so quickly, so I'm incredibly excited about this. I'm really passionate about this collectible space and the VV community. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all for being a part of this and joining me on this journey within YouTube. Now, the NFT summit happened yesterday. I watched it on Carl Wilson's channel, so I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can go and watch that for yourself. I've watched over it a few times so I could sort of take away some key points and share my own personal perspectives on what they were talking about. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I've got a link in the description below for you. So let's use VV Collectibles as an example for this particular idea behind celebrity-owned NFTs. Now, when we consider the fact that Logan Paul has publicly come out and said that he has interest in OMI, I would be surprised if he didn't own a lot of the collectibles or have the full season 1 range. So let's consider how this could play out when we think about him releasing a product or releasing his particular collectible back into the marketplace. So we'll put Logan Paul in the middle. I think this will be a better example here. So you can imagine, right? Having the proof of authenticity to a particular collectible is going to drive huge value for them. Okay, this is something we haven't really been able to see outside of the cryptocurrency or the NFT collectible space. Knowing who owns something can be a bit of a grey area sometimes. You know, it's sort of sometimes word of mouth, or you can get authenticity letters and stuff behind collectibles. But the reality is, the blockchain opens up zero arguments. This is who owned it. This is how much they paid for it. This was the date they bought it, and it is non-changeable. Logan Paul owned this, and if you want it, it's coming into the marketplace. This is extremely important when you consider this because it creates no resistance to the authenticity. There's no question about it. It was owned by him. Now, when you think about this, or you think about this sort of encryption within the blockchain, I'm going to use the Jersey Devil as an example of encryptions, okay? It's actually one of my personal favourites between that and Thunderbird, so... but we'll use that anyway, I digress. We'll use that as an example, okay? Now, if he was to release his Jersey Devil into the marketplace, okay? What you're going to find here is that, and obviously if you create a video proving that it was his, and you could obviously go through when this is put onto the blockchain, we go over to Immutable X, and you're going to be able to see all the history behind the NFTs. Okay, you can imagine, you know, do you think his audience are going to be interested in owning collectible that he has owned? Yes. The answer to that one is definitely yes. He is one of the biggest social influencers in the world. There will be people that just want to buy the collectible because of the fact they can see that he's owned it. You know, in some way it makes a fan feel closer to their favourite influencer. So it's just a very interesting take when you consider that you'll be able to see the verified ownership. I mean, it's so crazy to think about when you consider where this could go. It's not just about the first purchaser anymore. Okay? You know, we're going to be able to see where that breadcrumbs, the chain of transactions have happened within something. And if you could see the true authentic ownership of a celebrity, you can imagine this makes that Jersey Devil a one of one. You know, it doesn't really matter how many was minted of it. If you can prove that it was created, that it was owned by Logan Paul or any celebrity influencer for that matter, you have created yourself a very key differentiating. I think that's how you say that word. A very key separation to the overall minted number of a collectible. Now, just interesting to consider. Now, when you think about as well that this was a first appearance, and if you had a FA low serial as well, I mean, you know, the value of a low serial holds itself anyway. If you can imagine that you attach the fact that it was celebrity owned as well, I mean, yeah, this thing's going to go. So, and I thought I used a pretty cool example as well. I thought I could share this with you. I was talking about this with my brother earlier. Imagine if he released the whole of season 1. So he packaged all of his collectibles up, created an auction, and went, right, this was all owned by me. This is Logan Paul's season 1, the original FA of VEVE released into the marketplace. Could you imagine, with that combined with the authenticity behind the blockchain, being able to see that he owned it, how crazy something like that could go? It creates a whole different separation to the collectibles that are owned by everybody else. So very, very cool to consider. So yeah, that was some of my take. They touched upon celebrity owned. Now, they didn't touch upon Logan Paul, but obviously we can use him as an example because he showed very clear interest in the collectibles. So I thought I'd share that with you. Now, the next thing I want to touch upon here is how it's created, or NFTs have created logistical, essentially solutions to pretty significant logistical problems. When you consider the fact that David, you said that this has been bought by 190 from like 190 different countries, by people from 190 different countries. Sorry. So let's just consider the fact that, let's say the VEVE collectibles were a physical collectible range, and take that example that he said. 190 different countries have purchased collectibles from VEVE. If they released something like, I don't know, like the laughing Batman, for example, okay? They released that, and then that was bought by, and it was a physical collectible, and that was bought by people from 190 different countries. Well, you're going to have a huge logistical issue there. You've got to source it, then you've got to bring, say that you sourced from China, brought it into the US for logistics, and you had to package and send that out to, say, the UK, into Europe, into Asia, around the US, you open up a much longer timeline of logistical issues. Now, the thing that NFTs have created, or blockchain has created, is the ability for people to deliver products at the same time across the world. Just think about that for a second. VEVE collectibles can be sold in France, it can be sold in Germany, it can be sold in the USA, it can be sold in the UK, all at the same time. When you consider, say, like drop days, for example, when they sell out like an ultra rare in less than 10 seconds, that's not all being bought from the US. That'll be people across the world. So when you consider that, and then literally within half an hour of the drop, the product's been delivered to your VEVE account, and it's just incredible. So I believe we're going to see a lot of businesses continue to bring, and when they get more aware of this, they're going to bring their products into this NFT space, see where they can add value to this, attach themselves to brands like VEVE, who have got the infrastructure and the technology and the fan base there. That's for a collectible, for example, and bring it into this space because of the fact that it creates huge logistical solutions. So thought it was an interesting thing to talk about. And then last thing I want to just sort of touch upon, or second from last, sorry, there was one other point I want to touch upon right at the very end, is how NFTs have created a bridge between crypto and essentially the overall general communal consumer base across the world. Because if we consider cryptocurrency, it's not the easiest place to get involved with. It poses its whole level of technical difficulties. You've got to understand how to transfer your currency from different wallets. You've got to use fiat to transfer that into, I don't know, say like Bitcoin, and then go over to an exchange to buy into your chosen cryptocurrency, and then you've got to maybe learn how to use your ledger, and you've got to look after your actual asset as well. People don't consider that. Not everyone wants to be able to control their income. Even though I know that this is a massive value element of crypto, for some people that's really scary. So, look, my point is there's a learning curve to cryptocurrency, okay? There's a learning aspect to get involved with the space. Now, when you consider the fact that, and we use VEVE as an example here, they've created the ability for users to come into VEVE or purchase their favorite collectibles without even realizing that the associated tokenomics in the background is cryptocurrency involvement. Now, when you see this is obviously all done under the blanket of an NFT, you can start to see how this could create more of a mass adoption effect within cryptocurrency as a whole, because it creates more exposure to the space. So, it's a very interesting idea. And I think we'll see this even further, you know, with musicians coming over. We're going to see this happen within multiple different niches. There's going to be niches we've not even thought about. They're going to come into this space, utilize this technology. We're seeing collectibles. We're seeing all sorts of different areas. I'm not even going to go into them all. There's so many different niches it's stemming out into. But the point behind it is creating a bridge point between consumers and the cryptocurrency space, which is just incredibly positive as a whole for cryptocurrency. So I thought that was interesting to talk about. And then my last bit I wanted to, my last takeaway, and there was a lot of different takeaways, so I've had to take just some of the bits that I thought were the most important, was the fact that one of the panelists spoke about how a lot of the people that got involved with NFTs are here to make money. Now, I touched on this in a previous video about why the NFTs inside of VEVE are going for below MSRP, but we're actually starting to see the floor price increase now. But my point is that at the time, you know, we were seeing a big dip within the value of some of these NFTs. That was because of the mentality of the users inside of it. You know, that flipping aspect of the NFT marketplace, the crypto marketplace. Now, he touched upon the example of someone buying a tweet for $2.6 million. You know, an insane amount of money to buy a tweet for. But the point behind it is that there's this flipping make money aspect behind people that have adopted into NFTs, which is fine. But where I believe the longevity of this space and the survival of the space happens is in companies like that was on the panelists, companies like VEVE that are bringing real solutions in the form of the NFT technology, you know, like bridging that element between consumers being able to buy their favorite collectibles in this particular example for VEVE, bringing brands into this space. It's creating logistical solutions. It's allowing brands to become more interactive with their users. It's giving more sort of authenticity behind the collectibles through security in the blockchain. And we're just seeing how this full picture of the NFT space is really coming to fruition. And this is a very exciting development in this space. I love NFTs. This is a really cool place to be at. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there for you. If you enjoyed this, then please consider dropping a like, subscribe if you're new around here. And yeah, thank you for watching as always. The support is humbling to me. Thank you very much for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, guys.